Greetings, everyone. It is I, Dr. Shev, also known as Dr. Hill. How you all doing on this Wellness Wednesday? I am tuning in hopes that you all got the message. I'm going to check my Facebook now and see if Facebook has it as well. All right, give you all the time. Okay, somebody made it in. That's good. That's good. How you doing? Happy Wellness Wednesday. Hey, thanks here, y'all. I'm looking into some good stuff here for you all. I give you all a few minutes to tune in because I know some probably didn't think I was gonna tune in. Got a little bit of a later start. However, I made it, y'all. I told you I was gonna try to do a little better in 2025. All right. So please like and share. For whoever's tuning in now, please make sure that you have subscribed already. You all, I believe it should be then already made it to the 500 mark already. I don't know if there's a blockage or something on my thing, but I know there's been new people tuning in, and I have not seen that. I have not been able to see it from on my end. Yes, I see it. I see it. So I see that some people has received it. Give me 1 second here. I'll give you all time enough to tune in, and we're going to dive right into it. Try not to go past an hour and a half, depending on the questions. Okay. And Mama's done here. It's in the shout out to Facebook, which automatically allows Instagram to come in. And yes, I've tried to have that done already. However, it's better now than never, huh? Notice I said now. Notice I didn't say late. I said now than never. All right. All right. I hope that you all got a chance to tune in and check in with me for the last, oh wow, then I leave my drink on that side. Now, preferably you all were able to tune in for the last Wellness Wednesday. I did a part one of the fasting. I didn't have too many rebuttals about it, I guess, because I gave them options and I'm trying to explain the reason for fasting. I know there's many that's out here online today that has done that. And at the end of the day, everyone, I believe, would try to do the what works for you all, and that is what I suggest. Since we have so many different body types, so many different people with different diseases and different abilities depending on location and where you are as far as what you have access to. But just to recap on last Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday, I do want to state that let's keep in mind that no matter where you are, if you choose to push back the plate for the spirit of being able to have a good spirit and for wellness, for the loss of weight, you can do that wherever you are. You can do it wherever you are. That's the beauty of fasting. To stop eating food for a bit, to give the stomach time to idle, to rest without the interference of the mind, the constant bum rushing, as I like to call it, of the day, the hum sum. You can just imagine how much you can get done when you choose to fast. And so for those who all that tuned in for last Wednesday, if you didn't get a chance to watch it, I encourage you to, and please share, because it has a lot to do with just more than just losing weight or just doing it for I believe that the most important part is for your mental health and your spiritual health. That's what I believe that fasting is more beneficial for, because you can only do it so long when you're doing it for weight loss. And that happens over a period of time, depending on how much weight you desire to lose. Now that makes sense. And then that's the one that doesn't cost us anything. If anything, you save more money, you save more time. you save yourself a lot of stress. Okay. Thank you all so much for tuning in so soon. Hey there, Lady Blue. Good to see you. Good to see you. So my greet, I pray everybody is doing great. Assalamu alaikum, shalom, greetings, ashe, all of the greetings that is proper for those of you all that can receive it, is coming from my heart right back to you. Okay. And then I would like to open up with a little simple prayer. I know I missed the last time because the excitement was so there. But it don't mean that I did not pray that day. Okay. So we're going to start off with a real simple prayer. Okay. And then you're going to go dive right into it. Father, we thank you so much for blessing us to be able to come before you on this Wellness Wednesday. We thank you for the people that are here tuned in alive, blessing them to get through their week. We've made it to what we call the so-called hump day. Father, we thank you so much, and we pray that you guide my tongue, my spirit, in order to be able to share something that would be uplifting, encouraging, and good for our people, health and wellness. We ask that you continue to cover, protect, provide, and help those who are on their health and wellness journey to be able to strive and thrive in 2025. And in the name of the Most High God, we pray. Amen and amen. All right. I'll get to it. I know y'all can tell I'm excited. It's like, what's she excited about? Okay, first of all, I'm excited to be alive and well, despite all of the extras that's going on today. I know you all see it. I have to comment on it because I don't like it seeming like life is just about one thing, because we know this life that we live is not about one thing. If we all had the privilege and the honor of only thinking about waking up and breathing, eating, having a little fun, doing a little work, and then resting and starting all back over again, if that's all that it was, then we wouldn't have no need for a Wellness Wednesday. We wouldn't have any need for anybody to need any help being encouraged to live life at its fullest, or as they say, to live your best life. We would not need all of these different spiritual rituals and different practices and teachings if it was just that simple. I do believe that it was meant to be that simple. However, somewhere along the line, somebody's, can I say like that? Somebody's decided to play God. They wanted to be, somebody had control issues. Let's put it like that. Somebody abused their authorities and decided that they want to mess with nature. And to mess with nature, they wanted to mess with human beings. And with messing with human beings, it started to throw a whole lot of things off balance in the world today. So for this cause, this has birthed a lot of people trying to speak life into people all over the world. And the internet has given us the opportunity to do this at the palm of our hands. And so who knew? I know my great-grandparents probably never thought, or maybe they did, who knows? They never thought that we would be able to join together this way over some device where you could see someone's face and actions and hear something that prayerfully would be helpful and that would be good for your mental health, your spiritual health, and your whole overall health, being well-being for you and your family. And so for that, I'm thankful. I can just, I find that it's just very important to just thank God as my parents raised me. One good thing about being raised in a very spiritual family is that they always taught us to be thankful for everything. Thankful for everything. And there's a scripture for those who believe in the Bible saying, be thankful for everything under the sun. Be ye thankful for everything under the sun. And then it also is one that talks about us living in a time when there would be a very unthankful generation. Meaning appreciating life is how I view that. Excuse me 1 second. I got some dust out. It had some tissue that was clearing out. So that's okay. Thank you. Thank you all so much for it. So I'm I'm not going to dive in and go too far in for that, but I just wanted to y'all to know where I'm at and how I'm feeling on this Wellness Wednesday. How y'all doing? Please, I'm going to send in the greets. Please forgive me for not getting in my greets in enough time in the chat, but I'm getting ready to put it in now. We can dive right into it. Anyone that has any questions, this is really truly your time. You all know that I have a gift of being able to speak because it's a lot that I have experienced, and it's a lot that I have learned, and so much more that I desire to learn, so much more knowledge that I know that's out there to acquire, to help, just to help alleviate us leaving here. Hey there, Sister Jamaica. Shalom, 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 shalom. How you doing? Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm trying. I am trying to start this thing out a little earlier, see how this work out before my days get busy. So yeah, sometimes you all the timing could change, maybe once every few months or so. So I just wanted to take advantage of it because I realized this is a time that most people, ideal time that most people would take a break, whether you at home or whether you work outside of a home. There is a lot of people that take breaks during this time. So I said, let me see if I can try something different in 2025. And so, yes, it's good to see you. Send my greets to all of your family, your friends, those you all that is on this wellness journey with you all. And for those you all that feel like you don't have anyone on the wellness journey with you, you have me. Yeah, so I'm thankful for that. And so saying all that to say, I was deciding to trying to decide whether or not, because I like to go off of how my spirit is led, if I should go into a part two. I'll let you all decide while you decide which questions that you may have, if any. I'll do a brief commercial, let you all know that I do still have the sea moss in stock, the sea moss that you all can add into smoothies. If you look onto Facebook, I have some that's starting to share their sea moss experience. And I think some of them was a little hesitant because so many people have it now. But then they realized, it's something a little bit more special about Dr. Chef's when we take it. And all I can say that the different ingredients that I believe that may be in mine, here you go, drum rolls, and anything that my hands touch is love. Love, love. Yes, I pray good prayers over my food. This is food, you all. This is food for the belly. This is food. You eat this. This is food just like this nice big apple without the extra wax and all of the different chemicals sprayed on it. Yeah, with the seed in it. Yeah, it's food. And so I'm just thankful for that because I do have to prepare the dishes. Yeah, Dr. Chef got to put on her chef hat today for a organization as soon as I get finished with you all. That remember early on I was giving the asking for donations to help with our elders that were homeless due to the pipelines busting during this time. But come to find out, due to the cold and them not fixing certain things, they found out that they had retired mostly of our culture, of our people, that have worked all their lives in living in inhumane conditions. And so this is our annual, the organization that I'm a part of, the UPAO, we as the health ambassador, we took and brought it to the public, to the news. I shared that with you all. Well, that's where I had to attend today because they want to give thanks for our president showing forth information. This is the newspaper article that I am let me say it right. The organization that I'm a part of, for those of you all that don't know, this paper, if you request it, can be sent to you. This is open to all over the state and out the country as well. And it, as we say, you got our successful Black people in here. If you have a business, any type of injustice that's been done to you, there is a number that's on here that you can call into the 314-833-4151. or either 314-477-4629. And you can ask for Mr. Zaki Baruti, which this is him right here. And our dear beloved mother, Sophia. It's a lot of us. I think you all may know there's a young lady that's right here. Just so you all know what I do when I'm not before you. I think somebody up right there in that scarf right there. I think y'all might know that sister right there. Her name is Dr. Chef. And so bottom line is that they tackle all of the issues and allow us to write articles in there that really do affect all of our community as Black folks and all over. And there are some of the others, any of them that's for the cause of helping bring awareness to our people that are able to participate in these in this this newspaper as well. And it's just good for us to be able to get some of our news out, because as you all know, when we come before here, the only thing that I don't like about us having to come before the internet is that they can glitch, they can take down stuff whenever they want. As you all know, I finally got flagged, and I'm like, for what? I can only imagine. It could have been because I shared all those companies that allegedly have sold out, that's going underneath the brand of being all natural and organic. And I'm sure it was a few more other things that I had revealed. And so they banned me for a week. This was just a month ago. You all remember, barely a month ago. And so I couldn't come on. And I was like, wow. But see, try banning this. And it's thousands on top of thousands of them that's done gone out. Since the organization has been there for 30 some years, is millions of copies that have gone out. And what they do is address the political unfairness of things that's going on. Of course, there are some causes that I don't take up on, but mine is mostly focusing upon the mental health and wellness of our people and the homeless people as well. They only ask for $1 for a donation for those who all that want it, but you can give whatever size donation that you give. And this banquet that we will be having, or this event that we'll be having today, will be for us to be, they want to show their appreciation, the homeless people and the organizations that were helping the Heritage Center wants to show appreciation to our organization for rallying for them. You all saw when I was in the hotel a while back this past summer. And was it this past summer? Yeah, that time went by so fast. I believe it was somewhere in September of October. And I was in a hotel and I came in on live. I believe it, you know what, that was on Facebook, not here on YouTube. But I came here on live to speak on the injustice that's taking place with our elders. And that just seems to be a major issue around this world. And that's what I mean by when you're healthy and well mentally and spiritually, emotionally, it's kind of hard to not have the mind to do right by another human being. And so that goes from the smallest of things, how you speak to them, how you respect their boundaries, how you treat one another, with your words, how you address people. And I know anger is an emotion, being disappointed, it is a natural emotion, but how to control it is the same as when you know that you've had a full course meal and you start to feel like, I'm starting to get a little full. Common sense, if you have control of yourself, tells you to, okay, that's enough. I'll put the rest up for later, or I've had enough. You stop eating, right? Not unless you have an eating disorder, not unless you're out of control. And so this is the purpose of my Wellness Wednesday, is for those who are suffering with those type of issues. But just note that I like to tackle issues as well in comparing how you eat to live, or how you're trying to practice to eat to live for your well-being, to how you act and your spirit and your mentality that you have, that it actually has an effect upon. And this is the reason why you hear more and more ministers and more people speaking about this in other type of settings, where with at first it wasn't as much of a focus some years ago. Many years ago it was, and you all know I've shared it already with you all, who we knew here in America that spoke directly to our people, and that was, y'all know where I'm going, that really made it an issue on how to eat to live, and that is this man, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I have encouraged you all, even if you're not Muslim, to get this book. It has some wisdom, lots of wisdom in here, and how it's a part 1 and a part 2. And as you all see, it's a small read. And so if you one that's able to be transparent and understand that knowledge is begotten anywhere, if you could say, oh, well, you can learn something, we say this all the time. And that's the reason why I really, I don't really take people now today so much on what they say. I look at what you do if I have the opportunity to do that. So bottom line is, if I come to you and I say, you see him, he doesn't look unhealthy, and almost maybe close to the age of 90, right? According to what most believe, right? And now you see the Honorable Louis Farrakhan past 90. They had to know something. And does that mean that they didn't ever suffer affliction or illness in their bodies? No. But what it does mean is that they still had an antidote and some answers and some wisdom and knowledge that you don't see us, a lot of our people here today in America practicing, especially our melanated people, and they're not practicing it with a lot of grace. The humility that he had, no matter what accusations that I've heard down throughout the years that some had against him, still did not out trump his spirit, the spirit of humility, the spirit of, I love my people and I'm going to teach this even if I die, not by bullying people, not by trying to force anybody to, not by criticizing, not by, he did that. He saved that for the people. If you look at the teaching, he saved that for the people that were oppressing us. And then once he got finished teaching about how we were oppressed as a people here, I'm just speaking about our melanated people right now. Then he started to speak about, okay, now opportunities is here. Now you can't blame the white man for everything. Now it's our choice to take accountability. I'm paraphrasing for you all how this teaching went, but I'm giving credit for the spiritual aspect of what it's gotta take God to be in someone in order to try to teach our people. That's when you know that you're practicing how to eat to live more than you are practicing how to eat to die. And so I see where there's room for anybody, no matter what your religion is, no matter what your teaching is, no matter what your upbringing is. I see that as beneficial for everybody. That anything that you can learn that could help you balance out this thing called life in this so-called, what some like to say, crazy world, this evil world. I don't know about y'all, but I would take advantage of that. We know here in America where our curriculums for our school come from. It was not centered. We knew by the books, at least I did. I knew that Jack and Jill, and I looked at all of the little books that they gave us, and it was not designed for my culture. And when we finally did see a little melanated child in there, they were always the homely one, the sad one, the troubled one. It was always some type of negative depiction of them. And then when you get to our history, yes, I had a desire to be a history teacher until my history civic teacher told me in junior high that, look, Felicia, and he was a very smart young lady, but I'm telling you now, it's more to it than this. Thank God for Mr. Todd Yancey. He made it to, I believe, close to 100. Look, beautiful, good, respectable, humble man. And so for this day, I have great respect for our elder men that know how to actually truly teach the youth without trying to take advantage of the youth, without trying to exploitate the youth. And so I was blessed. And so I had to give that honor and that respect back for having that, because I was blessed to have, even though the area that I was raised in, the city I was raised in, was not known for a whole lot of good, positive things around the world. Still, yet and still, there were some diamonds in the rough there. And I was blessed to be 99% of my teachers look like me and more melanated. And so some of y'all want to wonder, outside of besides God, where I got this confidence eventually from, despite the trauma, despite being in living in St. Louis, east of it, and traveling back and forth all over St. Louis, and then Chicago and Detroit and all these other places where predominantly there were our people. How, where do you get your will to strive and survive and thrive from? I'm telling you now, it comes from God first, prayer, and then having beautiful, strong, loyal, loving examples from childhood on up. And so I have to get that credit back. So I can't. Now you see why I don't. Thank you so much, Sister Jamaica, for putting that information in. Hey there, Sister Tyra. It's good to see you all. Good to see you all tuning in, or able to tune in. And so I have to get that credit back. And so you can imagine, I can't even partner these people that I work with and others that I work with. We don't have an unthankful and an ungrateful type of spirit. And anyone that says that they're doing the work for our people and that's in the wellness and health and wellness of any sort that come from here, that sounds like, oh, they were just done so wrong and so life couldn't happen well for them at all. That's an unthankful spirit. It's an ungrateful one. And unfortunately, we live in a time that I've noticed in my 49 years of life that what goes around comes around. When it's your turn to be a leader, when it's your turn to give back, when it's your turn to have to do right by your people and to do no more than your reasonable service, since you say that it's from God, then you too will be challenged. You too will suffer persecution. You too will have to go through the, as we call, the ringer. You too will have to meet what some call karma, because this thing, it takes a lot of love. It takes a lot of commitment to teach our people while they are sick. It takes a lot of commitment to want to have to see not just yourself well, which it starts with you first. So I could never come before you all with the attitude that, oh, I'm going to teach this because it's in me, because I learned something from out of some books, and I went to school and I went to college and all, and I took these courses, and then, but it don't matter how I receive it and how I deliver it or what I learn from it. What matters is that I just tell you all how to do it. I promise you, the way I tell you all how to do it or teach it or share it with you is going to be highly effective, infected. Did I say it like that? Not effective, but infected. And it could show up in all different types of ways when something's not done in the right attitude and the right spirit. And I don't mean, well, we hop and skip and jump all around like a woman that's on her cycle that is eating bad food. Yeah, I said it. But I mean, like literally, or where someone have to tell you, so I can't come before you all and say that I'm a radical person. No, I know what happens with radical people. I can't come before you and say that I'm this so unique of anything to the point to where you feel like you can't relate to me. Even in the Bible, Yeshua speaks of how how they couldn't tell him and his apostles apart. There was some wisdom in that. Even with Elijah Muhammad, all of our greats, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan and so many more, and even the bishops and pastors that I look up to, J.E. Moore from out of Joliet, Illinois. There are different ones. Yes, they stand out in their own unique kind of way, but nevertheless, they still, you knew that they were from where they were from. You just couldn't run up on them and single them out just because they had these special abilities and gifts, or just because they helped people. And it's the same for our women. They have on a lot of the same uniforms, the same everything for a purpose, so that the enemy wouldn't be able to sift them as sweet as fast. They had a covering, they had a protection. And so I'm telling you now, that's just like now, you have to have an accountability partner anytime you want to be well, anytime you want to learn how to do and practice more healthier habits. That's important that you have a protection. And that protection really needs to be led by God. It really needs to be able to be, you need to know how in sync they really truly are in your life. Not just, oh, here, I'm just going to pay you this money so that, you know, anybody will come to you when you're paying them money if they're in need, if they want it. Anybody, you can get most people to do anything. And I remember that being said to me not long ago. I asked the individual, I'm not going to say any names because you all will know, but I asked the individual, I said, that were in teaching in wellness. And I asked them, I said, because their spirit was horrible in most cases, that I could hear. I got tired of hearing a lot of negative things being stated afterwards about our people. And I mean people all over the world. And why there should not be any mercy given to us, any grace, even though God has already shown a lot of that to us. So go to show you the complexity of that mind, the warpness of the mind. I said, don't you think, I asked the question, I said, don't you think that, I said, don't you believe in the scripture then that states that in Ecclesiastes, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers. Blessed are the merciful. I said, no. Basically, no. These jokers will do anything for money. So, since I got it, I'm going to use it. And I'm going to have them to do whatever I want them to do. I later found out that they meant that concerning how they gather women, how they treat children, how they deal with business relationship. That's why they didn't have close friends. No real close friends at all. And I know because I was around the know. And I'm thinking to myself, and this person was constantly on regimens, constantly teaching things about health and wellness, constantly, I can say that much, constantly speaking about how we're going to die if we don't practice certain things. And so you all can just imagine with me being what some call a critical thinker, but it didn't take any critical thinking for this. I'm thinking to myself, how can you just do a 2 or 3 day fast and still have this type of spirit behind closed doors? And all I could hear is a voice. I know it was the voice of God saying, no, you just take notes of what you should not do. See how accountability comes back to play. So just because you see, I'm gonna give a simple example. Just because I see somebody else eating what looks like a juicy hot dog, and I could be hungry, but because I have the knowledge, you have the knowledge of knowing all of the ingredients and chemicals that's inside of that hot dog, that even though it may make you feel a little fulfilled in the moment, you know that's going to make you sick at the stomach. You know 9 out of 10 is going to constipate you. You bypass it. You wait until you have a better opportunity to get something more healthier for you, or something that's more easier on your stomach, right? Or either you choose to just fast. I'm saying this to say that to be healthy and well, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, it is a choice. It's a choice, no matter what your condition is, no matter what your upbringing is, no matter what your environment is. And I don't mean in extreme cases like what we see in Haiti and other parts of the world, where they literally stripping the people, they've stripped the trees, they've stripped the, I'm not speaking in that manner, but as we all can see, there's so many showcases now because they believe that in the book that The Honorable Elijah Muhammad had made, I got it in my office, The Fall of America, because they see that America is crumbling economically. They're crumbling in different type of ways, just like many other countries have around the world. They believe that we're going into World War III. You see that they figured that, okay, we'll just up and we'll leave. Hats off to anybody that can afford to do that and that don't have enough family or in friends or anybody that they care about before they up and just leave before there is an actual, physical war that's actually affecting them to take place. I don't mean what people have done that's trying to duck and dodge from the mess that they have left here in America. I just mean for those who genuinely just want to leave because they want to have a better living or because they feel like it's safe, because trust me, it is a feeling. In most cases, when you think about when a house or family is known for any negative activities or for anything that's not good, we can use quote unquote the mafia for an example. When here in St. Louis, we had what was the mafia, the Italian people that's well known in the mafia industry here. They were known for building homes. They were doing a whole lot of things here. I don't want to focus on them. I just want to use it as an example. No matter where they went, whatever their name was, they there was a bounty out on their heads as the family because of what the family practiced. No matter what part of the world they went to, that's why a lot of them usually had to try to change their names. And that's what you see that happen with a lot of people when we have experienced a change or a lifestyle or we change of doctrine or religion. We change names because we don't want to be no longer associated with the old you. However, there's a lot of people that have tried to do that, and they've done it to try to cover what some call, quote unquote, their sins. And I'm saying that when you are truly healthy and well, you don't have to worry about changing anything just to try to hide and cover up your sickness, to try to hide and cover up your quote unquote sins. If you just make that is wrong right. If we just get to a place where we take accountability for what it is that we have done wrong, once the knowledge is there, and the knowledge is there for a lot of us, then you start to practice what you teach. You start to practice what you've learned. And practice do make better if you are doing right by yourself. But that is a choice. I could choose today. I had a choice between whether or not I wanted a glass of water, and as you can see, I drank some of it, or whether or not I wanted to drink some of the mud drink that's like a coffee. Well, I chose to drink my mug drink that's like a coffee. I hate I did chip my little mug, but it's okay. It's still a mug. I like how smooth our drinks taste when it's inside of being crystallized inside of ceramic. Good and warm. Many different beneficial things inside of that. I forgot the container, but it's called mud. Yeah, believe it or not, it looks like coffee, but so much more smoother. My God, it calms my nerves anytime I know I have a lot to do like I do today. And so, but my point is that I had a choice, which one that I want. I took the water in early this morning, and then I chose to do my drink today. Have I eaten anything today? No meal today at all. And I do see the benefit of it. What's the benefit of it, Dr. Shelf? The benefit of it, to just choose to drink and not eat breakfast and things of that nature, is the spirit feels more calm. I know some of you all have noticed that. And so this is the reason for me doing the part 1 of the fast. Let me look into the thing. Please like and share, you all. Thank you so much, Sister Jamaica, for your time and for sharing. You all, we do have good news, so don't let me ramble on. Oh, my God. Sister LaShawn, she posted up when I was letting people know on Facebook that I was coming in at noon. She posted up that you all, for those you all that that has been praying for her. Sister LaShawn is cancer free now. She's cancer free. I am grateful that I did get a chance to personally meet her for the event in DC. I'm so grateful that I got a chance to meet her, and I know, I just knew how challenging that was. She was the one, she said it in her own chat that she was diagnosed with a lump and they was finding cancer in her breast. You all, it's free now. She did what she could do. I could say that much until she decided to come on and share. I don't know if she knows or if she got a chance to look on the thing. I'm supposed to send her a text, but as you can see, that's what I mean by showcasing a lot of people. I got her direct number. I didn't call her for Wellness Wednesday, do it because I want her to mask in the goodness of just being free from being having any form of dis-ease taking place within her body. When you love people and when you truly care about them, you care about allowing them their time that they have the right to have to grace the world and share. So she shared on her own on my Facebook page how she is now breast cancer free. And thank you all for anybody that tuned in that caught that. And you all congratulated her. You shared that with her. Y'all, thank you all so much for that. And then we had another brother that was part of the UPAO that wanted consultation. He had announced on Monday when we was doing our fundraiser that night that he is also cancer free. They found these are people that have been going to the doctor. So testing has come back opposite. And so I get a feeling that a lot of that is getting ready to take place, even in the midst of the craziness and all of the changes that's taking place. And so you all, this is what lets me know I don't have to have a time for you all to come on to sing my high praises or to uplift me in this. I just need to hear that you all are doing well, because that's the only selfless type of way I know to show that I care and that I really, really do truly love seeing our people healthy and well. All right. And yes, this coming before I even write my books. This is coming before, oh gosh. Oh boy, y'all give me a minute. Oh, okay. I can cry tears of joy right now. Y'all know me. Yes, I am woman. I get emotional sometimes, but I come back. Oh my God. Ooh. You know how you can feel people when they're going through, and especially when you've spoken to them, you've met them, you know of them. I can't explain this. Whew. Okay, y'all, it's coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. Give me a second. Give me a second to be human. My goodness. Wow. With the year that I had, with there being clients that had unfortunately wasn't doing well in their battle with them with their diseases that they've been suffering from for years, way before I met them. In and out of the hospital this year more so than I ever have been outside of when I worked in the hospital years ago. This year was hard. It was tough. It was a lot more tougher because I had to speak to more doctors this time around. I'm not going to lie. This past year, 2024, I did. I had to speak to so many doctors. And so as a caregiver and as a concerned human being, as a spiritual woman, as a mother, no matter how many different things that I would share with my clients that they could do, just seeing our people suffer is really, it's still to this day, 30 some years of caring for people, it still to this day touched my heart like it did the first time when I learned what sickness was, the first time when I learned what illnesses was. Yeah, it just takes me back to that. And so when I hear that our people, that there are those who are recovering and there are those who are no longer diagnosed with things that or that was being destroyed for the lack of knowledge, and now they're actually taking the knowledge and applying it. That's something to rejoice off of, y'all. That's something to rejoice off of. I don't have to have a long, drawn out testimony. I give my people the option to do that for themselves right now, maybe later. But that's sacred. That's sacred. That's sacred. That is sacred. My goodness, if when a woman gets married, and even though it may be several people that's close to them waiting out for her to come notice, they don't let anybody for the most part see the bride but those who's closest to them. That's one of the traditional ways that's practiced, as you all know. That's how sacred I see that as, if not even more so. The timing is everything. And I realize that when you're not healthy and well, we get out of time. That's why I said during COVID, I made major decisions to work with a person that constantly begged me to work with them. And I thought they meant 100% well by me, but they didn't. They meant to exploitate me, and they wanted to use me for all of their benefits, and thought that just to make money would be good enough for me, just to find out that my heart goes beyond making money, just to find out that that wasn't my number one love. My number one love is authenticness, being around people that really truly love people. There you go, get choked up. That's my love language. And that's just something that you can't fake. Even if you try, we ain't gonna be able to do it for long. And so I'm just thankful that Sister LaShawn shared that she was able to recover. And you all, let's still keep her in prayer, because we know we live in a place where it is made challenging. It is made challenging. We are the diamonds in the rough. If you could come from out of this, and most depth, my God, if you're 40 and under, and you can come out of being sick in this place and still heal, then now to me, that is a miracle. But more so, it shows that you have the strength to survive and thrive in 2025. All right. And so y'all go ahead, give me some questions, because if not, y'all know I got these testimonies and all these different things that's taking place, and I'll get to talking. And I think some of y'all might actually like listening to a little something I gotta say. But no, this is you all's time. I want to do better in 2025 and give you all the opportunity to ask questions. Anybody that's tuning in that may be afraid to ask it, note that you can text me. You can via text in. I'm gonna start allowing you all to do that, because sometimes people don't want to come over to live stream and ask questions, but then I notice I'll get them after. I'll get them afterwards, and then if I don't write down the list, then I won't be able to ask the questions right then and there. Let me see, because sometimes I do get I miss sometimes people calling in there. Y'all smooth with it. You can, even for those of you all that's on the Felicia and Jordan Facebook, you can message me questions too, just for the record, just in case you didn't know. See, people like LaShawn and different ones that have recovered, Sister Tyra, Sister Jamaica, see, they know all, they pioneers in the game. They like, oh, we already know what it is. We have busy lives too. But I'm gonna get Dr. Chef one way or another. And so please don't allow my schedule to intimidate at all. I'm okay with being bothered or with being gotten at, because I understand it's just me. It's just me and God. And so I love that about them, because I don't know if I've told it to you all. Hey there, Brother Jamel. It's good to see you, Brother Roger. Why would blood glucose level be higher after eating a low carb zero sugar meal? Oh, good. Excellent question. Thank you so much for that question. Wow, that is excellent. Okay, because for one, um, you have to consider the factors of, he asked the question, y'all, why would blood glucose level be higher after eating a low carb, zero sugar meal? First of all, you have a couple of things to consider. What they call low carb, zero sugar meals, if whether or not that's actual a real meal. If it's a processed meal that they're calling that, then a lot of times when they say zero sugar, it does not mean that it's no sugar, no type of refined sugars in it. That's one thing. Um, it could be stevia, it could be artificial forms of any other type of sweeteners. And today, they still don't have to place all of the ingredients that they put place in the food today. You know, that's why they call us United Snakes of America, because this is an industry now. And it really truly is about the money. It's not about the health, your health and wellness. They fully understand now that our people, the knowledge is out here now, and more health and wellness people are speaking about it now. More and more spiritual people are addressing it now, especially after the seed that passed. They realize now that we have learned how to read. Some of us actually read, y'all. And when they found out that people like myself and others were teaching classes on label reading, they started to just putting whatever they wanted on some of the labels. And they knew that that would attract some of you all to think that you were eating a low carb, zero sugar meal, especially those of you all that were diagnosed with quote unquote diabetes or high blood pressure and things of that nature. You first got to also consider if whether or not there's any stress factors that's taking place when you're eating. And you have to consider that you should be waiting a couple of hours afterwards before you actually test yourself. And I'm going to be honest with my experience in this, especially as far back as 19, being a CNA and for years going in and out of these hospitals or nursing homes and seeing our people sick. I've learned that it's even best that even if you can wait a half a day before you try and or the next morning to test yourself when your stomach is idle, when you don't have anything on it. Why, Dr. Shell? Because the food affects that, whether you're eating healthy or not. And if there's any form of constipation and inflammation within the body, it will throw off any form of testing. So excellent question. So one, make sure that the meal is actual, it's not a processed meal that could cause any form of digestive issues that could throw off your glucose levels. And then also making sure that the type of fruitation, if you're on healthy foods, making sure that you're not testing yourself within too close to the time of your testing, because it's always going to be off level during that time. This is the reason why I highly recommend us to fast when you go into it, because in that way you know what you ate. We're paying more close attention to our bodies when we know what we're eating. And this is the reason why it was just so important that I shared the How to Eat to Live, because technically the one meal a day is truly, you all, whether we want to accept it or not, that's really the best route out if you're not going to decline from eating at all. That will help to alleviate any form of diseases is one wholesome meal a day, and making sure that that meal is actually a meal. So if you want fruits, then you want to do all fruits and great. If you want to practice mono eating, meaning that you eat one kind of food, then that's great. If you want to practice where you just eat a big bowl of vegetables and things that are considered veggies that help cleanse out your system, then that's great. If you want to decide that you want to just do a bunch of smoothies and be fulfilled and take some high vitamins that your body may need, like vitamin D3 and things of that nature, if you're in this type of crazy weather that we have here, then consider all that. And I know that was loaded. I'm sorry. I'm Brother Roger. I hope it helped. If it didn't, please feel free to, I don't mind elaborating. Very thorough response. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. And so, so that's a very good question, because I've heard that that is a major concern and complaint with our people. The labels are not always what it is, you all. You do have to consider that even though that is a step towards a more righteous direction, especially for this busy lifestyle that a lot of us have, I fully understand why you would go into the store if you have not gotten to a place where you prep your food and where you don't have access to good, healthy, homegrown fruits and vegetations and other grains and foods. I get it. You say, okay, well, at least I'll go and get a low carb TV dinner or something of that nature. But when you turn it around, y'all, look at the ingredients on the back. It'll say low carb and all that, but look at all of the ingredients on the back. See, this is which leads me right into Mr. Roger, which leads me right into my announcement. Thank you. $25, you all, still for your health consultations. Take advantage of it. This is my quote unquote January 2025 new special for you all. $25 for a half an hour consultation. I answer questions like this, but the beauty in this is that if you've already started eating a certain type of particular food that you deem to be healthy, but yet you're not still seeing good results for meaning low blood pressure, your A1C level is still high, you're not losing any weight if that's what your goal is, or you're still suffering from constipation, which is the number one cause of disease. Well, how can you say that, Dr. Shell? Because there's so many chemicals and stuff. And you just said that the food is because what goes in must come out. If you put poison within your body, you notice even when you get bitten by a snake, the first thing that they do is they try to grab it and they try to tie it up so that the poison don't go trickle down throughout the vein. You block that. Once you cut that part of out, what they do, they take and they suck the blood, poison out and spit it out. That's the old-fashioned way. They don't. You're not out in the wilderness or nowhere and you getting bit by a snake and you're like, you know what, I got an antibiotic for that, and you don't even know what kind of snake it was. Well, you kind of got to see these artificial foods that way too. If you take in certain artificial processed foods, I'm just tackling that because that is where I get that question asked the most. Brother Roger, this may not be your situation, but because it has been a question outside of being on here, I just see there's a very excellent question to ask because so many are doing that today. They are going and getting the low carb, low sugar meals, and you feel like, oh, okay, at least this is convenient. Yes, it may not put a lot of body fat on you. However, if you have not cleansed that colon and that gut, and you still suffer from some form of constipation, you have to deal with that. Whatever you can't chew, meaning practicing what I've learned in my detoxification class is what we call Mother May. Mastication, absorption, and elimination. And I know you got some of these extra people that's around here that's so professional is hollering, it's not just about using the restroom. I can promise you they're getting paid. They're getting paid. Or they could have been like I was, like when I first started off with accumulating this knowledge of how to eat to live and how to practice how to eat a more healthier lifestyle and fasting more. I thought because I was regular, every blue moon I could use myself, I could ever experience constipation. I knew what would cause constipation for me. White bread, meat, preferably burgers, white bread, meat, burgers, or white bread, meat, burgers. I knew that I was not going to get a good flow. But when I was eating more vegetation, other foods, and I left out the white bread, or I would minimize it down to only one piece of chicken. Yeah, my mother raised us up on chicken too. I was raised up on chicken. Then I noticed, oh, okay, I got better flow. But then I learned that I was practicing a little trick that I didn't know, where I would drink my fluids, my water last, or whatever drink we had. And I grew up on Kool-Aid too, y'all. Kool-Aid. Yeah, my mom was one of the best Kool-Aid. She know how to make it taste sweet and a little tangy. with the white sugar. And everybody, to the point to where summertime came out, my mama was passing out icy cups. My mama was that mama. So if y'all grew up in the neighborhood where it was a lady that was selling icy cups and selling all her food, that was my mama. I told y'all I had a mama. Yeah, that's maybe the reason why I care so much. And so we didn't see anything wrong, but my point is that I would save my drink for last so it can help flush down. It's something in me at 12 years old realized that, oh, I feel a lot, I could feel something passing through my system every time I say my drink for last. And the only time I would sip a drink was a little bit in between if it was something thick and I needed to, but I always try to say 90% of my drink for last. And so I'm saying that to say that what goes in must come out. It matters. Don't let the people lie to you and make you think that because you go into the restroom one time out the day, and here it is, you've had 2-3 meals and snacks in between, that means that your A1 level is going to be fine and that your blood pressure won't be elevated. So constipation is the number one cause of all forms of disease, whether it be in the blood, whether it be in the gut, whether it be in your rectum, your colon, whether it be in the brain. That's what causes aneurysm. It's a blockage. That's all it means. It's a blockage. It's been slowed down the flow of how your body is processing the food. It's something that they call the artificial food, processed food, y'all. I just thought about that just now. It just came to mind just now. Wow. These people really do tell off on themselves. And we have to listen and pay attention. We do. We have to listen and pay attention. It's the reason why they call it processed food. It's not just because they're going through a certain type of process. Trust me, when they made those machines to process that food, they were thinking about, you all got to keep in mind, these were biologists and chemists that were processing these foods, that they were thinking about the process of how slow this would also go through your system, how fast and how slow. That's how wickedly intelligent some of these people are. So think about it, if the process and how they do is nasty and unsanitary and they system get clogged up, then what do you think it does to your system? Okay, Mr. Right. Okay, he's on the road. All right, sister, y'all let Brother Roger. He gonna get his free wellness coaching in. That's what I'm talking about. All right. That's my problem. Laugh out loud. Oh, okay, good. Thank you for your honesty. I have the candy store in the neighborhood. Oh man, Mr. Roger, so nice. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Do you have some candy? Do you have some candy? Okay. You set yourself up for that. If you're not used to me, Mr. Roger, everybody know I have a sense of humor. I know it's a serious one, but I love when people are very honest, and so I appreciate that. This is what I want to start off with you all in 2025. So this makes my heart glad. He putting it out there. He is what they call being accountable. He's manning his accountability, you all. Here he goes. He said, that's my problem. Laugh out loud. I have the candy store in the neighborhood and I started eating it. Oh, okay. And got hooked. Okay. I never thought I would go through something like this, sugar addiction. Then you all say a prayer for our beloved brother here, Jamal Rogers. He has set forth not a confession, because none of us are sitting on a high pedestal to really judge him, but this is about educating us, sharing the knowledge that can help us not to destroy ourselves. Remember, Scripture says that his people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Brother, I would encourage you to look up all of the books on sugar addiction. They're out there now. The people are telling off on themselves. There are other healthier options. And if you don't say anything, if most of your people are children, but I got sense enough to know that it's not, that's buying from you, you could switch over now to more safer sugars to help yourself wean off. It's No difference from them giving you a prescription drug. And you notice when you say that, oh, well, I'm starting to faint more on this insulin, or I'm not doing too well on my stomach. I notice that my stomach is aching too much on it. What do? They change it, or either they'll lower the dosage. Well, it's the same for that type of white sugar that comes from candy. You're speaking to someone that was a pro sugar addict. I was an elite sugar addict. So that's the only reason why I'm lighthearted about it. But you see what my spirit is at. I mean, I literally, even before at the time when I was married with children, even beforehand as a child coming up, I loved sugar because my mother would not allow us to have the sugar, even though the sugar, the best we can get for sugar was when, because she was a baker too, she would bake cakes and she would do the Kool-Aid. We still couldn't have that all throughout the day. We couldn't just go in the refrigerator like a lot of kids could and just drink up the Kool-Aid. She was raised very militant, her and my father, because both of their fathers were militant-like people, military people. And so they measured and they structured their home and how we ate the same way, even though we were eating toxic food at the time that we didn't know that was really, truly that bad for us. And so therefore, because my mother wouldn't allow us to just have candy randomly, or even though we had a candy store and we had one even at the church, y'all, after Sunday school, there was a candy store. Deacon Lewis had him a candy store that we could buy whatever candy we wanted. Well, I wasn't rich, so we only had a limited amount of money that we could spend on candy, but we got addicted that way is what I'm trying to say. I got addicted to candy at church. And then by the time I had the teenager where my mom would allow us to get a little bit out of their sight, we had a candy store that was right there on the corner. And so we would take our little money and our little savings, our account, whatever we worked up on, and we would buy candy like most of us did. And yes, at the time, my aunties, they sold candy too. Like I said, my mother sold these things. Okay, so I'm on top of it. Okay, Mr. Rice on the go. That's what I'm talking about. We got somebody asking questions, y'all. Yay! Okay, and so I became an addict, is all I'm saying, you all, too, for sugar. And I'm going to share with you all after he finishes questions how I wrung myself out, okay? And this is before any becoming a naturopath. I was in the process. Okay. Yes, that's what I'm doing. I'm pre-diabetic and I'm not on medication. Hallelujah. I've been turning into your lessons for years, okay? But I took artificial flavors and colors too lightly. Oh yeah, you can't take them lightly at all, but that's good that you know. I'm being meticulous about correcting this. Okay. All right. Yes. And that's what it takes. Prior questions in the chat, Dr. Chef. I got, okay, where is there, if there's another question, then most definitely. Okay, let me see let me zoom down. Thank you so much, Sister Jamaica. It says, I tried to sell candy, setting a trap for sugar addicts, and I fell into it myself. Okay. What a lesson to learn. Yes, that's what happens. And believe it or not, it happens on the opposite. It happens more often than what you think. But now you're able to switch. Now that you know, because knowing is half the battle. Now applying what you have learned down throughout the years. So thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate that, Gillian. Okay, I'm seeing something here. Give me 1 second before I go on. Okay, Sister Jamaica, I see a question that Gillian, sis, my daughter, has on her wrist. Would like to know what she can do. Sis, that could actually be ointment that's applied, Sister Jamaica. You know you are due a consultation too. If it's a cyst, then that's mucus. That's excess amount of mucus that could be caused from certain type of lotion that's used. If it's not all natural, It could be something that she's eaten. I don't think that, if I can recall, I'm not thinking that she's on any meds, but you most definitely have to refresh me on that, because cysts is a call for a couple of different reasons. But usually you can alleviate a cyst through, you can use simple, cheapest way is peroxide and alcohol on that particular area, and rub it. Get a 100% cotton ball and set it on there. And you're drying out the mucus at that point, drying out the cyst. So I need to know if it's a soft liquid cyst or if it's hardened already, in order to be able to give a proper instructions on what all can be tried to alleviate the cyst. Okay, thank you so much for letting me know. Okay, I'm gonna try to zoom down, you all, because I'm still learning this. For some reason, it don't show me. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Jamal. No, you're very, very welcome. One from Sister Tyra Thompson. Was that Sister Tyra Thompson that asked a question about your daughter? I tried to say, okay. Okay, so hopefully I answered that. That's a simple one when we're talking about cysts. But I most definitely would like to know what she's around. It's a few things that could cause cysts. So most definitely sign up for a quick consult on that one. That one should be pretty easy. And then I also need to know how long she's had it and if it's painful or not. Good afternoon, Sister Candy. Good to see you. So good to see you all. Please like and share, you all. We got good questions here, Brother Roger, to start us off pretty good there. Okay, one from, okay. And so, yes. So what I did, I'm going to go back into how I want myself off of sugar. And when I feel like that sweet tooth is coming back, because our bodies is made up of what we have accumulated over a period of time. I really don't think that we get rid of everything, just for the record, because it's airborne, it's in the air, it's in the clothes, you all, the sweating of our clothes, even with you washing your clothes, is in a lot of these things. They have been slick and they put it into your laundry detergent. It seeps through the hand. All of these sweeteners are all throughout your cosmetic. As you all know, that's why I don't wear makeup. That's not to gloat about it. It's just I don't like anything feeling anything artificial on me. Every blue moon I might try a little vegan, little eyeliner when I want to feel extra girly. But that's the closest I'll get. And I use natural lip gloss if I haven't drank enough. So I'm very particular. Natural hair products, oil, all that seeps into the skin, you all. And most of those have artificial sugars, colorings, natural flavors. All of those are laced into one, and that ignites that causes the body to react in a certain type of way. It even goes as far as your sheets and your covering. So linen and silk. Linen and silk is your most healthiest sheets to sleep on. You also should have, especially in the summertime when you're sweating, your pores are open. Or if you're working out and you think you want to sit down and just relax, or after a bath or a shower, and you just want to say it seep right back into the skin, you all. That's how particular, Brother Roger, that you have to be. And it's not something to stress about. You get these things in due time, because obviously we've been living without having to go through all that. But they got a little saying that's kind of considered a little slang. How you living? How you living? How we live, what we live in, and what we don't know can really destroy us in a shorter period of time. This is where eczema has come about. That's a deficiency. That's a good sign too, that you have chemicals, dye, food colorings, natural flavors, and that you have artificial sugars within your system. Don't let them lie to you. See, if most of us don't, especially us melanated people, don't go to dermatologists. And even a dermatologist is limited in their information, because they will not, most of them, as far as the last I checked, will not even teach about dietary laws, or what we call how to heal the body internally. They will still recommend you a cream, and then you got to read the ingredients on the cream. So even though it may dissipate spots and blemishes on the face or in the skin, now you got to deal with the chemicals that you place in the glycerin and all of the other things that went inside of the body that's going to give its own reaction after your 30 or 90 days of using their product. So yeah, so it goes on, you all, because it is an industry. So the best, easiest route out is to eat your fruits. Eat your fruits. Eat your fruits. I don't know nothing that tastes better than a peach, or a real peach, a plum, an apple. I don't know anything. And you're looking at someone that, and I've shared this many times before. I don't know if Mr. Rogers have Brother Jamal have noticed, but I've shared many times before. That's how I stayed up. At the age of being married, at the age of 20, going on 23, I had my first daughter going on 24, 23 going on 24. She wound up a couple of years later having a sleeping disorder. My daughter, may she rest in peace, Najee, she wound up having a severe sleeping disorder. And so it didn't help that I had a hard time resting at night, and I didn't know that it was from the sugar. I didn't know. Sneaking candy, trying to get into it. And so I believe that some of that transferred over to my daughter. She would stay up late. Unfortunately, her biological dad, same thing. He liked eating sweets and eating late at night. At the time, we were still young and dumb. Let's just call it. I can call myself that at the time. Or let me say ignorant. We said ignorant to Satan's devices. We were just some church young folks that went to church, grew up in church, and we ate that Sunday meal like everybody else. Both our mothers were excellent cooks, and everybody loved their food. Mine's more so though, because she made a living out of it. And I didn't know anything else, and it made me feel good. Anytime I could know about, learn about something that was stressful. And then it was like the brother said, it was an easy way to make money. If you had candy, you can get out of a fight in school. You can avoid getting bullied if you could give them some candy. Because little did we know, that child that was bullying was not probably just because they were being bullied before, or just because they were mean. It's because they were addicts too. And so they'll do anything for your candy, even if that means laying you out. And so we didn't know. And so now they've done all these different experimentations, you all, to show you how critical and how this artificial sugar is a drug. It's a drug. It is a drug, the white sugar. Let me tackle all of your coffee shops, or those of you all that, like myself, that go to coffee shops sometime to have important meetings, or just to have to get some work done, and you just want to get out the house. When you go to this coffee shop, you notice that most of them don't have it. I think Panera Bread, I don't know where state everybody is from, but we have a place here that's really known called Panera Bread, and other nice little unique coffee shops here in St. Louis. And you often have to ask for raw honey, or you could possibly get by if you wanted something sweet in your drink with saying, okay, well, do you have raw sugar? Then 90% of the times they don't have the raw sugar. Only one or two of the well-known coffee shops that I know, and it may be a few more, but I don't live in them. But most of them are going to have you all of those, the yellows, the pink, the white, all of those other sugars, and you're putting it into your tea and coffee. And then if you don't have that, then they got the fountain drinks. You all know the fountain drinks. And now they'll say, we got peach tea, we got agave tea, we got all this. And all you got to do is ask them, okay, tell me this. What kind of sugar are you sweetening your drink with? And they'll tell you, oh, yeah, it's white sugar. So now you hype. Can't even concentrate. One of the number one things about that is side effects is ADHD, symptoms like being ADHD. So even I, because of years of being a sugar addict, over 20 years of being a sugar addict, I still, when I feel like I want to have that extra energy, I'm either taking my own B12. Notice it's sweet. I'll give me some raw honey, I don't feel addicted. I'm not going to go through 2 or 3 different types of it because it automatically simmers it down. Now, how long did it take for me after living off of white sugar? I would say it took about a year. And I say for me, it may have only taken that long, like I said, because I wasn't, the melatonin had wore off of my daughter at the time, and I was forced out to stay up to the morning time most times. And then if I wanted to count while she was going through the recovery of her seizures, if I wanted to count how many seizures she had, I would be up all throughout the night, at least every hour, up on top of hour, trying to check to see if she was okay, and then checking on the rest of the children. And so I was that mom, where I'm up. And in order to stay up, the only thing that I knew that helped me stay up was to have something sweet. And so what I did is I transferred over from white sugar to what they call the Mexican sugar, um, bazooka, because it looked somewhat white. And I was told that it was healthy. Comes in a green bag. I shared it maybe a few years back. I noticed, even though it was refined like it, and then I transferred over to the crystals from the international food stores. They had the real crystal cane sugars, and I made like out of rock. So when I wanted to drink coffee at the time or tea, I would drop those in there, and I noticed. So wait a minute, I noticed it tastes good. This is before the raw honey, you all. I was like, but I noticed I'm not craving. I don't feel like I gotta have a big gulp of it or a bunch of cups of it. So I didn't even know myself that I was linking really truly when I was just thinking, oh, this is more healthier sugar. This is more original. And that's how my journey from recovering from being a sugar addict started, by changing the type of sugars. And then from there, I went to raw honey. When I got over the price of the raw honey, because I was a budgeter, I always have been. I like to save. I always have. Teaching my young adult children that to this day. They know that about their mom. I'm always going to ask them when they do something, so what you got saved? Because this is important. That being said, I want golf. But my number one way of realizing that I was able to, the FDA, what does the Food and Drug have to do with each other? They all sleep in the bed with each other. They have stocks and bonds and shares. The FDA is the same. And you could, if you ask that same question, now I'll say you can Google that. They'll show you all of the cases that they have. And that's the reason why it's thousands of lawsuits that's going to come up against them. They are attached to our government. And the regulations is based off of those 10 families that are the owners of the companies. As you all know, Robert F. Kennedy is now in there, but I don't even see how much he's going to have accomplished. I think that because they hear the cry of the people and they see sales declining, meaning that they're starting to lose millions of dollars, if not billions already, because the internet has leaked out so much information. Joe Rogan and them to stations. Once the white boys get to tell them the information now, it's a done deal once Satan turns against Satan. And what I mean by Satan turns against Satan, who used to be a part of the industry, say, enough is enough. You all are killing off my family too. I got diabetes now too, so I'm blowing the whistle. They blowing the whistle, y'all. And so once that happens, what happens is that now all those public records and documentation come in. So the FDA is pretty much the Food and Drug. Notice it says food and drugs. Right? You don't go to a farmer's market and hear it say farmer food and drugs. The mafia and those in high places, wicked people in high places, own the FDA. They fund them. They pay for them. It's just that simple. You have a lot of our politicians that have stocks and shares in processed foods, you all. It's a $1 trillion industry, because they already know if we don't do anything else, we're going to eat. People want to eat. They know that we are more than 80 to 90% of Americans own some type of drugs or addicted to some type of sugars. They know this. And so they know that our lust and our addiction is food. And because we lust first with our eyes, no different than when a man see a woman and say, you know what, I like what I see. Or when a woman look at the man like, oh, he handsome. That's how we look at that food. But can you imagine doing that to an apple? Like, oh, look how nice and round and juicy and hard that apple look. I don't know about y'all, but I'm in love with healthy food. So the way I would have looked at a nice cake, a nice fluffy soft Morse cake back in the day, it's the same way I look at a fruit now. I'm like, I like that white part of, I like how that juice just, I do. I have a relationship with my food when I eat it. Same thing, you all. You have to retrain your visual, your eyes. You notice how a lot of you all notice the mentality, and I call the mind of grace trickster. Thanks so much, Sister Jamaica. You did such a help. So I hope I answered the question. The FDA and the Food and Drug Administration, they are all in business with each other. Everybody gets a profit. They're the ones that also make the laws of what's going to pass and what's not going to pass based off of how much money that they have. And even though they have their own scientists and chemists that do a lot of times speak out, they would rather fire them or get rid of them in another way than to stop the flow of them making a lot of money off of the consumers. It's just that simple. This is the reason why you have over 200 some other countries, and there are more that's joining in on it. For instance, Russia and Europe, it's against the law in many parts of their countries to, well, no, just in the country period, to for them to find out that you're giving their people processed food with chemicals and dyes. It's a felony. And not only that, the people take up arms. And the farmers, because they know that puts them out of business too. They go and they bum rush their presidents and their capitals. They don't do like us to sit back and protest. Yeah, we won't die out of our food. We won't color out our food. Yeah. This is a crying shame. Just marching. They don't do like us. Waiting 7 years for them to drag it out in court while they knocking off people and raising prices and causing all our people all over. Was part of what California is. You all haven't seen the California fires, how it's made it to a square. I tune into other channels that may not be popular to some people. And so they have it where that's a whole squared off area. So that means somebody wants that, just like how they did with Hawaii and Lahaina. What do you know about Lahaina, Dr. Chef? Well, that was my first family trip that I took years ago, about 15 years ago. With my whole family was to Lahaina. That my destination to stop was in Lahaina. Lahaina is beautiful. They grow mangoes, bananas, fruits all over. You can walk up the street and you can just pull fruits off of the street. I was fortunate and blessed that it was for business for my family at the time. And that was our first family trip. And the brother had surprised us with the work before it was time for the work to be done. And by the time I opened up the window, I'm looking out at this massive ocean. But by the time I made it into the city, I'm looking at, as we walking, I'm like, oh my God, there go a mango tree. There go. Now, there was a small church that was there at the time that was part of a ministry that made sure that we had everything that we needed. So we were blessed. However, I noticed that each stop that we made, each block that I walked up along the side of the beach, there was a tree full of food. Their chickens, peacocks, were walking just randomly free. Neither one of them had a tag on there saying Kentucky Fried Dyed Chicken. Neither one of them had a label on their back saying "Hurt You Chicken," or as my dear beloved brother What? Oh, he gonna get me. Yeah, Nuri Muhammad. What he called Chick-fil-A? He calls Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A. What is Chick-fil-A called, y'all? I had a brain freeze. It'll come back to me. Anywho, the chickens was able to run free, you all, on the side of the road. You had to get out their way. They walking free like this my land. So you can imagine all these years later when I find out this is back in 08, well, 07, 2007. By the time I'm hearing about the fires taking place and the conspiracy behind it and knowing some people from there, I realized, oh, I said it then when I was there. They want this land. Oh yeah, this is similar to the land that flows with milk and honey. They had pineapple, big, I mean, hundreds of acres of the pineapple fields. Pineapples grow that big. People come all over the world to see it. This is on the island of Maui. Yeah, we were maybe probably represented less than 1% of a black family that was there. People kept asking me and my husband at the time, are you all Samoan? Are you Samoan? If anybody that knows Samoans, it's Japanese and Chinese mixed with Native American or black or quote unquote African American. And so I'm like, no, like it's not Samoan. And so I'm saying that to say that I knew then that just looking at how the people, the way they were trying to take over the land then, with making it more of a result on taking the land from the native people. Even when you went to their McDevils, they didn't sell the sugar down apple pies. They sell coconut pies because, of course, it's coconuts growing from the tree, you all. When I tell you, I flowed at the time, my ex-husband was diagnosed with a form of high blood pressure at that time and high cholesterol. Didn't have it while we were there for those months. Did not have it because it was so high in fiber and everything that was sweet was so natural. You didn't have no need to go to the fast food restaurants at that time. We didn't have no need to go out, and everything felt fulfilling. Even their bread that we would consider our not healthy bread was good on the system. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Now, if I could have been one of those people that could feel like because he surely wanted to, that we can live in a land where it's not as many of us there, then it probably could have worked out. But no, you could get lazy being in a place like that. If you had all the fresh foods that you wanted, and you'd be calling home asking people just to give you money because it's very expensive to be out there, very expensive. And so I'm saying that to say that you all have to know that even now here in California, and that was the neighboring to Maui, the neighboring state was California. You could catch a plane from California, was one of the destinations that you could commute over to the islands from there. And so I remember California in that way, and knowing that, I remember saying then that I think they'll be next. So notice they got the most wealthiest areas there. And then they're telling the people that, oh, we gonna block you off from being able to get insurance. Even though they paid insurance, that you can't even get your reimbursement from the insurance that they've been paying. You know what that tells me? That they want the land. That's what they practice: kill, steal, and destroy, and then they rebuild to make it their own. Yeah. And so when you speak of FDA, brother, my brain go down to the nitty gritty. You talking about particulars. I'm looking at it from the root cause, as they say, follow the money. You got to follow the money, because in this case, that really is the root to all of this evil. They know that money does equal power. This is the reason why you all often hear me, thank God, this means an illusion people are going through. Absolutely. Absolutely. They are the masters of manipulation and disguise, and creating, using these televisions and this internet to create scenarios that for those of us who've never been there or don't know anyone from those particular places that they are attacking or allegedly attacking, I got to say that, because even though I haven't given any names, but still, anytime there's a lot of good in the land, this is the reason why I'm not going to lie, be cautious about our people saying that they want to up and jump and go to other countries and other places just because they got good food. I say, look at the history of that country. If the people are oppressed, and here it is, there's billionaires in that country, millionaires and billionaires in that country, and they refer to those particular places of anywhere here in America, like Little New York, there all these other different places. Y'all pay attention to the language. This is how we are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. The same thing, anytime the people try to emulate us, and we know that here in America is emulated, though, Europe. They want us to be Europe. It's not a coincidence that Prince Harry is here now. I have a thought that you all think that it's just about how they treated his mixed black and white wife. It goes beyond that, you all. Way beyond that. I don't have time to discuss it, but I will say that those are the type of things that you all should look at. So it's not no coincidence that in order to make America great again, it means to make it white again, meaning where they control most of the things. And this is the reason why now, even if we didn't break out into a full-blown war, you all, this is part of the wellness that will help you to keep your mind strong, is that they're coming for the Social Security. They're coming for your benefits. They're coming for your retirement funds. There are IRAs, all that's been coming from. And if you say, oh, no, it's not happening, I got mine. I've been advising our elders and our older people that have worked 30, 40 years. I don't care if you're in the military or whatever. I've been advising them to cash their stuff in. Cash it in. Cash it in, get you some gold, some gold or some silver that's going to outlast anything. That's what my advice would be. And I've gotten this from financial gurus of people that have way more than what I have. And from just watching the history of how this country and how our people have ran things. This is the reason why I do have, even though people don't know me to be Muslim, I have respect for the knowledge that the Nation of Islam is sharing with us. Dr. Wesley Muhammad just came here to St. Louis speaking about the industry, music industry, and the chemicals and all of how that's tied into play and how it's feminizing our men. They've been on this for years, and this is the reason why they've been so attacked. You all thinking it was because of the so-called assassination of them being able to say, oh, it was FOIs that took out Malcolm X. Wellness in the mind, that's where it starts at first, you all, before we can even think about how evil and how particulars they are about making sure that down to the dollar that they kill us off with artificial foods and unhealthy things, and by lying to us about what's going on in the system. Which leads me to this one part right here. Please like and share, you all. Sometimes it's good that I go over the time that I go over, because there at least need room to be able to say things, you all. For those of you all that are patient, you get a chance to get some extra little good nuggets. In this particular paper right here that just was published, you all, this week, I have plenty of them. So anybody interested in getting one, then just let me know. A message after they basically tried to make it sound like it was a black man that caused this, that was the one that went on a rampage in Louisiana. I'm sure some of you all heard about it. The brother from Texas, that I can look at his origin and tell that he wasn't one of our regular, not. They tried to slip that in there, but you don't hear them talking about it anymore. See that message right there? I'm finna read just a little bit of it. Well, actually, he's basically saying about the spirituals. This is student minister Ishmael R. Muhammad, the national assistant minister to the Honorable Elijah, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. But this is Elijah Muhammad, you all, son, that wrote How to Eat to Live. This is one of his sons. And in this book, I'm share this real quick just to show you how deep this stuff runs. And you all knew that Malcolm X practiced How to Eat to Live. They said when they did his autopsy, he had one of the cleanest colons and system that they've ever seen in a black man. And he was very particular about his food and how he drank. And he fasted a lot. You saw how tall that man was. He wasn't lacking. I'm looking for the page. It's mighty ironic that they try to make it seem like that it would have been an FOI that would have did. This so-called tried to. Because see, they know they quick to sue now. This part right here on page 6 of the African News World newspaper. Here it is. Bingo. To show y'all something. Show you how much they like to play with our minds. Now, I'm going to read this for you. The reason why you see me pushing this, based off of what Brother Roger just shared, this means an illusion of people. Oh, yeah, automatic all the way through. Unraveling the United States government role in the death of 2 historical icons. Malcolm X daughters sue the CIA, FBI, and the NYPD over the civil rights leader's assassination. Now, all this time, I don't know about y'all, but I was raised a little Pentecostal girl. So even though I would see the Muslim brothers and sisters passing out the papers, passing out the final call, which I do recommend you all to start getting, because it's the only way you're going to really, truly know about what's happening if you are considered a Black American, an original Black man or woman. Let me speak to you all. And to anybody else that's not of our ethnic background that are truly interested in us being treated fairly, let me show you how deep this is. It says New York, the 3 daughters of Malcolm X have accused the CIA, FBI, and all the rest of them, and the New York City Police and others for $100 million in lawsuit Friday of playing roles in the 1965 assassination of the civil rights leader. In the lawsuit filed against Manhattan Federal Court, the daughters, along with the Malcolm X estate, claimed that the agency were aware of and were involved in the assassination plot and failed to stop the killing. I'm not going to read all of it. I just want to let you all know that, do you really think that it was just about how great he's him breaking away from the nation at that time? He came back. How you know, Dr. Chef? I got my inside sources of how I know. Here you go. You think it might have had something to do with this? Because throughout this book, he don't just talk about a lie. He talks about what they've done, what they've given us to try to kill us off, y'all. He talks about that. He talks about how to properly fast as a people. He talks about how to eat to live and not to die. I didn't even know this was in here when I started saying this. Honestly, I hadn't made it through the whole book. Honestly, I had not made it through the whole book. Please like and share. You think it might have something to do with all of the people and men and families, Black families, in fact, that they promote us being married and having our families? You think it might have something to do with uplifting the Black man, saying that every president since President Hoover had a written agenda about their greatest enemy is the young Black man? Think it might have something to do with that. Or why we need to make America great again. I don't care how many rappers and how many so-called black faces that they use when it's time to run these campaigns. I don't care about that. You shouldn't either. They don't represent the majority of us. So when it comes down to food administration, do you think that's anything to them? That's nothing. That's their money. You're messing with their living. They are used to us being able to get by just like they did with the assassination, with the allegedly assassination, like they did with Martin Luther King and the rest of them. I don't care about whether or not they slept in the bed with them. These people were fighting for civil rights for us. And when he realized, on Martin Luther King, since the birthday and the annual anniversary just passed, when he realized after his meetings, after our black men gotten together, our original men got together here in America and started speaking about the agenda, that this may not be a good idea for us to think that most of these people are going to do righteous by us. Why do you think it's still hollering for reparation to this day? We got our sisters in the office now hollering, reparation. We had all these different ones. Corey Bush, I'm here from St. Louis, representatives up there. I mean, getting down. I'm in a show me state. You got to show and tell us. You got to show us what you're talking about. You got to show us that you're doing right by us. And so anybody that say they hate coming from here, that means they hate getting into the nitty gritty of actually trying to make a real difference, because this paper that printed this comes from here. That's printing the truth. Yes, they're putting their necks on the line, knowing that they could get treated the same way. And me representing the healthy part of this. Y'all, I already been propositioned by the so-called Jays. Offers. Make some real big money. Why me now? What, because you saw my face in that paper? Yeah, this is a serious thing, you all. Why reach out to me? Because they'd love to take the mothers out. You can take the father and the mother or something out of there, or the caregiver of who could help give longevity. Then it's easy to take the whole house. It's easy to take down our people. But as time go by, you all, the point is, on this Wellness Wednesday, in order to thrive and survive in 2025, you all, we're going to have to be healthy mentally, spiritually, naturally, emotionally, so that we can see clear. Start trusting that first mind. Stop double thinking. A double-minded man in James, in the scriptures, I don't believe it's been tainted with. It says that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways and ought not to expect anything from God. That means the God in you. Because it's hard to make decisions. I know I can't be with a double-minded man of no sort in no position in my life. Let's make a decision, and the decision has to be good for everybody involved, not just for show. I don't believe that that's how he intended it for us. If this man hadn't been a family man and stayed with his family even when he was traveling, then his daughters may not be alive to this day to be able to put out a lawsuit, just like Dr. Martin Luther King family did for him, to exonerate them and to show and prove just how far these people willing to go for us, for our minds not to be set free, for the truth not to be set free, that we need to have our own. We need, just like you need to take care of your own body, your own family, you have to take care of your own, everything you own. They know that when a people own something, and when you are taking accountability to what you have and from where you come from, they know there's power in that. There's a unification that comes in with that. And that's what so many in those positions of oppression and making billions and trillions of dollars off us is the number one thing that they're afraid of. It's true. I don't care how holy you say you are, how many scriptures you say you know in this Bible. I don't care how many, even some that say that, oh, I represent whatever belief system you come from. It's obvious to those of us who can see, whose brains is not clouded, who can see past the smoke screen, who can see past, oh, let's attack R. Kelly, let's attack this or let's attack. They've been knowing what these people was doing. They are the imps in this. That's the reason why I can't have real respect for any of us that likes to drag our brothers and sisters throughout the over anything that they've done just to make money. You're doing the same thing that the oppressor has done. You represent the same thing. I don't care about you saying that you're going to take the money and give it to somebody. That's a lie too. That's a full-blown lie too. Y'all can believe that if you want to. Y'all, your heart got to be in the right place. In order for the heart to be in the right place, you got to cleanse the heart. We got to purify the heart so that we can be strong enough to fight against our adversary in these last wicked and evil days of our time. We got to leave. This is part of leaving a legacy for your family here. Everybody is not going to be destroyed. And since you don't know, depending on your survival, your ability to survive and thrive, and not being destroyed for the lack of applying the knowledge, since you don't know if whether or not you're going to make it through it, just like many made it through World War I and World War II. I don't know about you, but you are, but I'm optimistic. Yes, I am. I've always been all my life. And that optimism and that passion and love and the insight to be able to see beyond what I was being taught at the time, as in the quote unquote little preacher kid, daughter and niece, said, we got to trust the God in you. That's all I got to say, you all. You have to trust it. But if you're full of not thinking that this thing starts with us being accountable, once you see the hands of Satan, as they say, once you see what they're plotting, running is not always the answer. If that be the case, we wouldn't have so many to return when they come from the wars. So many would still, so many. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm going to stop right there. Just know that I appreciate the questions or any of the questions you all have to tune out. I got to get to cooking, y'all. I'm going to make a veggie black bean soup is what I will be making, with all of the beautiful herbs of garlic and onion and all that good stuff. Quinoa and razzle dazzle with a Dr. Chef dish here at this meeting that we will be discussing this paper as well. And want you all to keep me in prayers that I remain covered and safe. Because as of right now, yes, I do. I give a lot of credit to my brotherings that I have around me now. I'll say 99% of them are very respectful and have done their job. So shout out to our Black brothers that believe in looking out for a little sister like me. You brothers just tuning in, you all know who you are. And I have to have it like that, you all, so that I'm not caught up in having, getting caught up in as they say, hoodwinked or being snatched up by any more sheeps with wolves with sheep clothing. I learned a hard lesson this past 2 years, as you all know, and it's just I believe it's just by the grace of God and by the heart that He's given me to still want to service our people, and just get better and better as time go by. That He's decided to have mercy on me. Yeah, on little old me. He's decided to have mercy on me so that I can still come before you all from time to time. And so don't forget, you all, call in via text in 618-388-8100. Sister Jamaica, thank you so much. I do need at least an hour. Yeah, I need at least an hour, half an hour to fix this particular meal. So I can go. Some of them haven't tasted Dr. Chef, and then some of them have. And they've been, oh yeah, please bring that. I'm like, okay, gosh. I was trying to take a break until I get my full kitchen back from the dishes. And this is what has held me back from the cookbook, you all. Those of y'all that cook in their chefs, you all know how important your kitchen is to you. Even though, I can whoop up a really good home, good, healthy, tasty, savory, glorious meal like that. It don't matter where I'm at, but it matters when you want to make it, a business out of it. It matters when, so I'm just waiting patiently. And so I appreciate you all for your patience, for waiting for the second edition of the book to come out. Because when they do, it's going to be razzle dazzle, really good, with a lot of love and a breaking down of the benefits of the foods that I like It's going to have some, it's now I will say that's going to be unique because I haven't seen what I got in mind. And so thank you all so much. Don't forget, to those you all that would like to donate, know that everything goes back into the proceeds. Your sea moss is on sale for $30. So is your colon cleanse, you all. Brother, I do recommend you to get the colon cleanse if you don't have it, or if you don't have chlorophyll or something to cleanse out your gut. That sugar can be flushed out. A great deal of it can be. I did have to go on the cleanse. I use the colon cleanse. I don't have an extra bag here now, but it's in a bag like this. It's a 30-day supply. I started off on a colon cleanse also, to just for the record, that gave me my greatest success of being able to wean myself off of the artificial sugars, just for the record. Yeah, so I want to make sure I share that with you all. I believe that played a major role in getting rid of parasites that were feeding off of the sugars that were in the white bread, that was in the artificial cupcakes, and all the Twizzlers made me very happy until I did more research on the red 40 and all of the dyes that was in there. Oh my God, y'all. Brother, you struck a nerve there. We can talk. I guess I'm gonna have to do a whole segment on sugar. So yeah, we got a lot of people out there, but they haven't had Dr. Chef version. And so I'm going to go ahead and tackle the sugar. That's going to be one, y'all. Okay. Thank you so much again, you all. If it's no other questions, it is time for me to get out because I do have to fix this meal. It may be only maybe about 50 people, I suppose. There about 50. It's not a humongous crowd, I don't think. I could be wrong. So yeah, I gotta fix this meal and I head on out, or else I will stay a little longer. Thank you too. Yes, you have a good one. Don't forget to call in, Brother Roger, if you want any. The consultation fee is only $25 if you want to take advantage of that. Stop teasing us with the recipe. I know, Sister Jamaica, you know you my inspiration, because Sister Jamaica got her book out. You all, I'm glad that you said that. You all go and support her. Any of you all to know of anyone that can benefit from in the book about special caring for special needs children, please show your support. The book is only $20, you all. And getting her information. Sister Jamaica, remember, you can put your information in every time when you come into the chat. I'm okay with that. And anyone else that's doing anything that's good for our people, mental health and wellness, I would like it if you would text or email me at the Dr. Chef Health and Wellness, health and wellness at gmail.com, or Dr. Chef 1798 at gmail.com, to let me know what you have. And you can feel free. I don't have a huge channel yet, but you'll be surprised. All it takes is one or two people that may know of someone else to make something spread for you. So you all that have anything with mental health, natural health products and things of that nature, just bring it by us. And I promise you, I don't mind you all putting your information in the chat. Okay. That's another way of us working together, you all, so that we can, so that the people that unite themselves, there's a scripture that speaks, there's nothing that we cannot accomplish. And I really do believe that. We just have to do it. Just do it so that we can survive and thrive in 2025. Peace and love. I love you all. You all take care of yourself. Until next time. And yes, I am going to try to come before you all by noon on Monday. Yes, I am still trying to clear my schedule for Friday. So just keep a lookout. You never know. I may do a pop-up on a Friday. I just don't have anything concrete just yet, you all. Okay. Bye-bye.